Hi, my name is Chris Forbes, Souk, British Columbia. This is Fuka Cycles, and I write the checks for it. I like anything on two wheels, quite honestly, that doesn't have a motor. I don't mind electric bikes, but typically road cycling, mountain cycling, gravel cycling, you name it, I'm on it.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Lee and I like to ride a bike. Actually, because of COVID, I got into riding more daily. I ended up moving right by a whole bunch of trails, and so daily I just found it was good for my mental health, and it was good for exercise. So, you know, I was able to grab my bike and go every day, and I like to cycle. But don't ask me anything that is really highly technical, because I will not be able to answer it to you, but I'm learning.
My name is Mike Freeman, and I don't know why I'm here. I have some very dear friends who are very hardcore cyclists, and I decided that this is the chance that I'm going to take and try it. So for me, the really exciting part is getting to work with people who are experienced cyclists, especially people like Chris, who are extremely passionate about this and willing to share their information to help me be successful. Just to spend some time with great people. It's been a really tough year, and we have to celebrate the things we can do. You know, there's a lot of things we can't control in the world, but as bad as it is, you can always hop on your bike and go for a ride. Today, I do all sorts of things, including hosting a podcast for Haven, Home Builders Association of Vancouver, called Measure Twice, Cut Once. Absolutely love working with my co-host Jennifer Lee, and we wanted a chance to work together again. We were looking for the right project, and I think we found it. I have a great friend, Chris, who we've worked with for years. He's almost like family to me, and he's doing something totally unique and totally different, and we thought this is a story we want to tell. So first of all, Chris, welcome to our conversation.
Thank you. Really happy to be here.
I'm really glad you're here too.
We're excited for you to be here.
This is probably the most enjoyable day I've had all month. It's only mid-month, but I don't think we're going to top this one. Where are you from originally?
Amazingly enough, I'm from almost as far away as you can get. I'm from the Annapolis Valley in Nova Scotia, born and raised, and then went to university in Halifax, went to University of Dalhousie, and then moved out here for work in 2002.
So Chris, we're really excited to have you here, but how did you even get into cycling?
Well, being a former basketball player, growing up and playing my entire life, then moving to Vancouver Island, and that's when I got introduced to mountain biking by a local friend who said, you know, you should grab a bike and come out on the trails. And I'll tell you, it only takes one ride and you're addicted.
When I first met you, you were doing more hardcore mountain biking. I'm like, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm going to Arizona and jumping off a cliff. And couldn't believe it.
Yeah, thankfully I made it back from some of those trips, and a lot of road cycling as well, Jennifer. I really enjoy the peace and the serenity of getting out on the road for hours and hours at a time. I used to have done in the past a ton of Grand Fondos, which are 160 kilometer treks, so which take about 6 hours. So I really enjoy the peace and serenity of that, and also the peace and serenity that comes from mountain biking. Because you have to concentrate so hard, because no one wants to get hurt nowadays, it really clears your mind and your soul when you're on a mountain.
Well, I'm excited to hit the trails and continue the conversation with Chris about the bikes and what it's like to ride on the trail with these particular bikes we're taking out today, and come along with us.
Let's do it.
Let's go for a ride. Okay, I'm going to follow you guys.
How's that now, Jennifer? Okay, we'll change it.
my stress for the day.
Quite honestly, on Vancouver Island, we have more of it than probably any other place in Canada.
It's fantastic. And you know, yeah, I gotta tell you, like, you know, the intimidation of learning to ride is pretty high.
Yep.
But every time I get on a bike and I feel the wind on my face, it's like I'm gonna keep on trying. But I got a question for new cyclists. How long when you ride a bike before your ass stops hurting? All right, we've done a bit of riding. Wasn't as hard as I thought. It was actually a lot of fun, and I want to turn the camera around and actually show you why we're riding today and where we are. This is why we went for a ride. This place.
What it's all about.
It is what it's all about. It's the place we're at and the people we're here with. Chris, talk about the ride we were just on. Like, we're midway through it. Where are we right now?
Yeah, so when we were talking in the first interview, guys, about the regional districts and the trails that they build, this is exactly what I'm talking about. They put a lot of money into this to make it safe, to make it usable, to make it wide enough so that a lot of people can be on the trail at the same time. This is integral to the entire cycling and hiking world. So kudos to those regional districts that do this stuff.
I mean, look at this
opportunity.
This is stunning.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous where we are right now. So Jennifer, your first ride on these trails, what's your first impression?
It was good. They're super easy to use, and I enjoy it. It's a nice, like, casual ride.
Now, normally you don't use as fancy or as high-end a bike. Maybe fancy's not the right word for it. As technically created bike, as I don't know the right word for it. This is a better quality bike than you're normally used to riding. Do you equate that to any difference in the ride? Was it easier? Was it just, like, tell us about the experience for you.
Yeah, well, so I've been biking for a year, and with this proper bike, it's the first time that I actually felt like, yay, I'm not dying out of breath, so that is good. I actually feel like all that work I've been doing, and I've been trying to cycle daily for a year, and, you know, I've gained a better level of health and stamina, but the bike makes a difference because I'm not huffing and puffing.
It's huge. Okay, Chris, so I'm hoping you can show me, like, earlier before you left, you made some adjustments and you fitted Jennifer up really, really quickly. Show us a little about how you figured out how to set the settings based on the size of her body relative to the size of my body, and how people look at fitting a cycle for themselves.
So, first of all, you need to be very comfortable on the bike in a standing position. If it's too high up under your inside and your thighs, then you need to be able to stop and get off the bike safely and be able to do that really quickly and easily. So that's one thing. The second is the ride height of the seat. Now, you set the top end of the ride height for the seat so that your leg is just barely bent a little bit. You never ever want it totally straight at the bottom because you will hyperextend your knee and get inflammation in here, and that will not be good. So you set the ride height of the seat just so that the riders, when the pedal is at the bottom, the rider's leg is just bent just slightly 3 to 4 to 5 degrees. So that, now, these are some of the technology things that we were talking about. The dropper post can adjust the seat height during the ride if you so choose. You've also got settings as well on your rear shocks of really squishy if you're doing some really good bumpy stuff, in the middle of the road if you're doing like what we call railroad tracks, And then if you're riding on gravel trails like we are today, we'd probably put it on stiff. This just gives you the flexibility to be able to ride a multitude of different types of trails at the same time. But absolutely, the fitting of the bike is absolutely crucial to the person in order to get comfort.
And you guys made a couple adjustments we initially set out. What did you do there?
So what we did was Jennifer's seat was too low to start with. We had it down too low and her leg was too bent and she was kind of riding like this. That's just an appetite for inflammation that's going to be in her knee. She's not going to enjoy the ride and she's not going to want to ride tomorrow. So we brought the seat height up. That was pretty much the big adjustment. I made sure there was enough air pressure in her shock so that it's a little stiffer than normal, because you're on flat surfaces like this and you don't need the squish. If you're really pedaling hard and there's lots of squish, you're wasting a lot of energy. So we really wanted this ride to be nice and enjoyable and relaxing, so we kind of stiffened the bike up a bit so that you're getting all the power that you're pushing through your legs is definitely going into the bike.
And Jennifer, did the bell help at all? Or?
I used the bell once, and a dog and the owners went to the side, so that was nice.
Yeah, they were chasing you afterwards. You couldn't see that.
But what I did like about the seat adjustment, it's true, because when it was too low, I was feeling pain already in my thigh, not my knee yet, and I was like, I'm not gonna like this. So once he bumped it up, it was better.
Yeah, I actually found a huge amount of difference versus, I mean, I have a cruiser bike that obviously I don't ride enough, but I still ride, and it was a lot less difficult than I thought it was going to be, and I like just giving the seat at that right height. I mean, we still have to lift the handlebars up, but this isn't a custom fit. This isn't my final bike.
Right.
But it was a lot easier than I thought it was, and to be honest, I was quite nervous about this last night, going, okay, am I going to be able to do this, or am I going to make an ass of myself? And it remains to be seen whether I'm going to do the ladder yet or not, but the first one so far so good.
You kept up with us. So
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome, Mike. You did great, man. You even look very comfortable on the bike too, which is huge.
Well, I often look comfortable when I'm terrified.
Look, yeah, you kept up with us.
Yeah, exactly. Now this is fun. I'm glad we came out here. I mean, look at where we are.
This is why you get on a bike, so that, I mean, a lot of people don't get to see places like this. There's a lot of places that you can go on a bike that you just couldn't get to any other way. So you feel very blessed a lot of days out here in the woods.
Well, this is what a RIDECAST is all about. We're going to talk about where we're going to go. We're going to go there. We're going to be right inside the ride and interactive. And this is the first of many. So this is a great way to cut our teeth without killing me, which I appreciate. Thank you.
Peace, love, ride.
Next stop. Get on the bike.
A nice smooth motion is key.
I made it to this point.
Okay, well, that's further than I made it, so.
Chris made it all the way up there.
Chris does this more than we do. That's why he owns a bike shop and we don't. I think I understand why we're going on this ride now. Spent a lot of time talking about what. We're going to go for a ride and the where. I was still trying to figure out the why. And I thought by this time I'd been on the ground, my heart would be attacking me and I'd be in a lot of pain. It turns out I feel pretty good. Everyone was kind and slowed down and let me keep up with them, which just goes to what Chris was saying earlier about this is something everyone can do. But look behind me, look around me, look at this place. This is your why right here. How you feeling, Chris?
Like alive, man. It's awesome. This is, you know, this is why you ride.
What goes through your head when you're looking at a scene like this and just being by yourself and being in the, you know, being out of the city, being away from technology? What are you thinking right now?
I'm thinking that, you know, this is what real life is all about. Not sitting in front of a computer, not sitting in front of a TV. It's seeing nature at its finest and being part of it as well without abusing it. And I think that's the peaceful part of it for me.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. How you feeling, Jennifer?
I feel great.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel good.
What are you feeling? I mean, you're looking out at this water, this peace and this nature. How are you feeling? What's going through your head right now?
So nice, I don't want to work ever again.
So does it mean you're staying?
What?
Does
Oh
that
yeah,
mean-
I'm living right here in the spot. Right. I'm gonna build a little mini cabin.
I'm 100% certain the city won't allow that.
I know, I was just thinking that.
It's a good thought, though.
We talk about bylaws and permits a lot in our day jobs.
We're true. You're never getting back out again.
Nope, you're at the right height now.
Now I feel like you guys when you're with me.
Now you know. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Nice to meet you.
Cheers, nice to meet you.
Well, this is it. This is the end of the RIDECAST, and this is, we did it. And
We all live.
I lived. Nothing bad happened, and what was really shocking is, I didn't know. I thought, well, we go for 3 or 4 kilometers, and then I'd collapse. They'd laugh at me. They go for a ride, do their own thing, and come back an hour later. We went, what, 10, 11?
Pretty much 11K today. Yep. You
Yep.
did awesome. Like we
Thank
all
you.
both did.
Oh, it was amazing, and I think I'm starting to get a better idea of why you do this, because even though I hurt like hell all over, and I feel like I've been hit by a cement truck, and a full cement truck, I'd like to point out at that. The bottom line is, it was a great time. We saw some beautiful things. It was quality time with friends in a way that is safe and responsible during these precarious times. And you know what? They'll pass. It's a fun activity. What do you think, Chris? How do you feel about all this?
Yeah, I'm just so glad you guys came over and got to experience a little bit about what I love to do every day. And, and this is also part of it, by the way. That's what I was talking about. Mountain biking is so addictive because, again, all levels can ride together. Very sociable. Hang around afterward. It's kind of like the perfect outing, really.
What do you think, Jennifer? How do you feel?
I feel great. I love this. So like I'm addicted to it, and that's the thing that I never understood before until I got into it. Was like at first I was like, how do people get addicted and they want to ride every single day? And then something clicked one day, and now it's like I have to do it every day. Sometimes I can't, obviously, depending on things, and sometimes pain too, because like I said, I'm dealing with injuries. But you really want to go every day, and then when you don't do it, you actually feel the difference. Like you do get addicted to it.
How do you feel?
Me, I feel pretty good. I mean, it's nice to end it with a delicious beverage that's well earned, I'm not going to lie. But, it's funny, when you said, I'm going to have a bike store, I'm like, you're going to sell bikes. Now I kind of understand better. You're not selling bikes, you're just providing tools to facilitate a lifestyle, and you're really selling culture, and bikes are just how you get it.
Exactly. Totally agree. Totally agree.
And the fact that you'll have the social aspect with the brewery beside you, everyone can go and like
Surf shop.
cycle hard.
Yeah. It's a really special place you've got created here.
Yeah.
Very excited about it. Like I said, we wanted to build a culture as much as we wanted to build stores. I think the typical, quite honestly, Mike, and I think you and I both know this very well, the typical old retail store is not where people want to shop anymore. People want an experience, and they want to feel like everybody knows their name, to steal a line from a great show that we grew up with. So that's what we want to create here. We want to create a spot where everybody feels that they're welcomed, that they're included, and just anything we can do to get people on bikes keeps them out of hospitals and keeps them out of computers. So I think it's great.
Well, and I think the other thing is this is a fairly growing community. This is one of the best communities to live in all of British Columbia. And so what happens is you have a lot of migration out of core city areas into the suburbs, and you don't have that sense of community that you might have had. So you have a lot of people trying to create their own community. So a place like this, people could have moved from Ontario, could have moved from Vancouver, they could have moved from Kelowna. They can all come here and congregate and actually build a community around themselves. And I'd never really thought about that before.
Well, you saw it today. I mean, how many people waved to us and talked to us? Pretty much everybody.
Absolutely.
And that's just part of biking.
Yeah. More relaxed than in the city, that's for sure.
Well, some guy actually asked me if I was okay, and I was like, do I look like I'm dying? Like nobody ever asks you if you're okay in Vancouver. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Island life.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Well, guys, thank you very much for an awesome ride today.
Thank you guys.
You get that first one out of the way, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier for the second one.
And then you're going to get addicted. You're going to want to keep
Exactly.
going and going and going and going.
Absolutely.
You'll see the three amigos again soon.
Yeah, so hey, well, let's talk about this. We'll forget about when. We'll figure that out. Where should we do our next ride?
That's a good question. I guess I should probably go over to the mainland.
Yeah. There's so many great places.
Yep, we'll figure it out.
Okay. Well, thank you for watching our RIDECAST. My name is Mike.
I'm Jennifer Lee.
And I'm Chris. Peace, love, ride.
Peace, love, ride.